bodies on the ground, blood, shattered glass, people dead. It was sad.
Tonight, the city of Colorado Springs says 5 people are dead and 25 are hurt after a shooting at an LGBTQ+ nightclub. The city isn't releasing their names until their families know. A 22-year-old suspect is in custody. A
lot has happened just in these past few hours. There's quite a bit to unpack. Our team is covering all angles of the shooting, and we want to start with 9 News crime and justice reporter Matt Jablow, who was in the Springs overnight.
A nondescript strip mall in Colorado Springs was the setting of a terrifying burst of violence late Saturday night.
I'm so terribly saddened and heartbroken.
The call came in just before midnight. An active shooter armed with a long rifle at Club Q, a popular LGBTQ nightclub on North Academy Boulevard in Colorado Springs.
Initial evidence and interviews indicate that the suspect entered Club Q and immediately began shooting at people inside as he moved further into the club.
Colorado Springs Police Chief Adrian Vasquez says by the time officers arrived, 4 people were dead, dozens more injured. One of the injured died a short time later at the hospital.
We are all shocked and saddened that this occurred here this last night.
Police say it was a horrifying scene that could have been even worse. Shortly after the shooting began, according to police, 2 customers inside the club subdued the gunman and likely saved lives. Police say those 2 hero customers were not hurt.
We owe them a great debt of thanks.
According to police, the suspect, 22-year-old Anderson Lee Aldrich, was arrested as soon as police arrived and taken to the hospital with unspecified injuries. Police would not speculate on a motive for the shooting, nor would they label it a hate crime.
Every citizen has the right to feel safe and secure in our city.
But they vowed to do everything possible to help ease the pain of the victims and their families.
We are working tirelessly to ensure that justice for the victims in this senseless and evil shooting is given.
In Colorado Springs, Matt Jablow, 9 News.
The owners of Club Q say they're still trying to process all that happened last night. They went to the club after they heard about the shooting. Right now, they say their focus is on the community and the victims.
You're looking into every single person's eyes you're looking for your friends, you're looking for your family, and you're watching every single one of them with just this hopeless look. It's something I haven't processed, and I don't know when.
People in the Colorado Springs area are shaken and disturbed by what happened. 9 News reporter Jaleesa Irizarry is live outside Club Q, where people have been leaving flowers all day long. Jaleesa.
Yeah, Kim, in just a matter of hours, the memorial behind me has doubled in size, and that really speaks to how this community is feeling right now as they begin to process what happened. Agony can be anywhere. Today, pain is a pile of flowers just a block away from Club Q and the people that put them there.
Frustrated. Whether it's happening more these days or not, it feels that way.
Arno Van Zoren considers himself an ally. His heart is with his friends that call Club Q home.
As far as I know, they're all okay. But a lot of them may be heartbroken.
Heartbreak is found across town at a vigil outside All Souls Unitarian Church. But often, where people are hurting, there is healing.
We're going to make sure that we are bringing change for our community and raising voices for our community.
Joseph Shelton is trying to look forward as his mind races back.
I had just given a friend a ride back down, and he actually said, take me to the club instead of taking me home. About 10 minutes after I got home, within that small time frame, I got a call from a friend saying that there was a shooter.
Joseph says his friend Ed was shot twice, but survived and is in the hospital.
Well, even one person is too much.
Jasmine Warner says her friends weren't as lucky.
Finding out that our close friends are dead. So yeah.
Grief tends to take hold, but with love and support, so can strength.
Not letting fear win. You know, that's what I feel people who do these types of things would want you to do, to run inside and hide. And ultimately, if you do those things, it's letting them win. I know that my friends that we lost wouldn't want that.
Joseph says his friend who was shot did have surgery today. He said he spoke to him on the phone shortly after, and Kim, he says he seems to be doing pretty well.
Yeah, Jaleesa, we can't forget the fact that besides not knowing who the victims are, we got 25 people that were hurt, and some of them possibly facing long recoveries.
Exactly, and we have to definitely keep those people in our thoughts as well.
Absolutely. Thank you, Jaleesa. One man who was at Club Q last night said he thought the gunshots were part of the music at first. Once he realized what it was, he hid in one of the dressing rooms where drag queens prepare for their performances.
Including me, there were 2 other people in there. I made them lock the doors. We closed and locked the doors. We got down on the ground and we cut off all the lights. We heard everything. We heard a third round of shots. We heard the assailant be detained by, I assume, employees of Club Q. We heard the police come in. We heard yelling.
The suspect at this point remains at the hospital. The police department says he is expected to survive. 9 News reporter Kelly Ranke had a chance to sit down with the chief of police for an interview. And Kelly, what did you learn?
Hey, yeah, well, investigators are starting to put together this timeline. During our conversation, Chief Adrian Vasquez says he believes it took less than 1 minute from the shooter arriving here at the club and those 2 patrons taking him down so he wouldn't hurt anyone else. According to the mayor, he tells me that one of those patrons took the gun from the suspect's hands and began hitting him with it. Again, in less than 1 minute, a man is accused of killing 5 people and injuring more than 24 others. Officers were able to arrive here on scene within minutes of that first 911 call. It was a chaotic scene, as you can imagine. Chief Vasquez says officers worked to place that man into custody and triage patients to hospitals. Some first responders put the wounded into their own patrol cars to get them help as soon as possible. As far as motive, Chief Vasquez says interviews with his family and friends will be critical here.
We did try to talk with the mom in this, but she was not overly cooperative with us. We're still trying to figure out more information with regard to her, or find out other things from other family members.
Chief Vasquez says they're still trying to see if the suspect will be willing to speak with them. He says he doesn't believe that the suspect was shot, but he was hurt during that altercation with the patrons as they tried to take him down. Next press conference, Colorado Springs Police Department tells us, will happen by noon tomorrow. Tom.
There's so much more that we will be finding out in these next few hours. Thanks, Kelly.
Owners of LGBTQ plus clubs in Denver say this shooting hits close to home. Even though the Springs is about an hour away, they tell us it's still one big community.
Denver is such the center of the Rocky Mountain West for pride and for our community. And Colorado Springs is an amazing community, and we are able to share a lot of performers go there, a lot of performers come here. A lot of our community in Denver go to Colorado Springs Pride. Everyone knows somebody there.
Colorado Springs is such a close ally with the bars and stuff down there that I'm hoping that there's something down there, whether it's, not just for our community, but for the families. I just can't stop thinking about, as these parents are finding out about their kids that were hurt or killed last night, and how sad and devastating that is.
Triangle says they always have off-duty police officers during their busiest times. They're also adding more security today and checking all coats and bags. X-Bar's owner tells us they are planning more security measures as well, including armed guards. We also want to mention that Trax Denver will be hosting a vigil for the victims. That's tomorrow night at 7.
And it was about 6.5 years ago that a gunman opened fire at Pulse nightclub in Orlando, Florida, and 49 people died that night. The One Pulse Foundation held a vigil this afternoon to honor the victims of the shooting at Club Q. They say they wanted the Colorado Springs community to know that Orlando is there for them.
Vitalant is sending blood to hospitals in the Colorado Springs area to help the victims. They are asking people to give blood over the next few days. That blood, of course, could save someone's life in an emergency. They ask that you make an appointment, though, on their website. It has been a tough day for all of us, especially the LGBTQ plus community. If you're struggling and you need someone to talk to, there is help available. You head over to our website. We have an article with several mental health resources available online. You can find that on our homepage. And the Colorado Healing Fund has also been activated. That's a way for people to donate money to a secure way that it will go directly to the people affected and to long-term recovery.
That is a live look at Empower Field as the sun sets behind the Rocky Mountains. The Broncos and the Raiders are on their way to overtime, so it's a tight one. We'll have a look at what's happened so far out on the field and have the latest from the Broncos. That's coming up in just a couple minutes.